Have you ever wanted to see an individual with limited woodworking experience?
Amateurs.
Walter.
Limited tools.
They're amateurs.
And limited money.
They're a bunch of amateurs.
Attempts to build a guitar body? Well, today's your lucky day in the Guitar Zone. Welcome to the party, pals. I am Droid, and as you heard in the intro, today is the day in which I finally attempt to build my own guitar. Well, at least the body to start. Now, I've thought about this for many years, and I finally decided, what am I waiting for? Let's do it. Being that this is my first experience with building a guitar body, I didn't want to buy a really expensive, nice piece of wood, because I'm pretty positive mistakes will be made. So I just started off with an inexpensive piece of pine. It cost me less than 20 doll hairs. Now, I've put a tremendous amount of thought into this guitar shape. It basically is encompassing everything that I liked about each and every one of these guitars behind me. You know, some guitars are good for sitting down, some guitars are good for standing up, some guitars are good for classical position. However, none of these guitars that I own can do everything. So my thought was, can I create a shape and a guitar that I would be 100% happy with? Should I only have that one guitar? Now, it remains to be seen if we can accomplish that, but this is the shape that I came up with, and I just started by laying out some parts on top of the wood and tracing out the general shape that I wanted, or at least the shape that I think I want. Now again, as I mentioned in the intro, I do not own a lot of tools. I didn't want to purchase a bunch of tools that I may never use again. If I like this process and the guitar comes out decent, then I'll start purchasing tools as I make more guitars. For now, I wanted to do what I could with what I had. So I just took the good old Dremel oscillating tool and rough cut out the shape of the guitar that I traced. Now, as you'll see throughout this process, I will continue to refine this shape. This is not the final shape. We still got plenty of work to go. This is just meant to be a rough cut. I'll get into this a little bit further in the video, but I'm using 2 layers of this wood. So I did this process twice, once for the top layer, once for the bottom layer. Here it is in its rough cut form. I laid the neck onto the guitar, got the general alignment that I wanted, and traced out the shape of the heel to make the cut to accommodate the neck onto the body. Also see here that I continue to further refine the shape. And here you have both layers that I cut out with some parts laid out on top of it once again. After this, I traced the pickups onto the body in the location that I think I would like to have them. I did put quite a bit of thought into this. What I ended up deciding on was a humbucker in the bridge, single coil in the neck. If you've seen my videos, you know I like to mess around with pickups a lot. I'm sure this will change in the future. We'll see how it goes. After I got the pickups traced onto the guitar, it was time to cut them out. Now again, it would be magnificent if I owned a router. However, I do not. So what I did was I used a combination of drills, Dremel tools, files to get these pickup cavities cut out. I'd say it actually went pretty well. So next up, I just laid the pickups into the holes that I just made, traced out the locations of the wires, and using the Dremel tool, created a little channel where the wires can go once the body is fully assembled. Next up, it was time to decide the electronics layout. I decided to go with one volume, one tone, 3-way switch, output jack. Again, this may change as time goes on. For now, this is what I'm going with. I used the same method that I used for the pickups. Drill, Dremel, files, you know the deal. So the next part is what I was referencing earlier. Now, ever since I got a semi-hollow body guitar, I pretty much fell in love with them. I still do like solid body guitars. I like semi-hollow body guitars. I like full hollow body guitars, as you can see there. Obviously, you can't accomplish all three of these in one guitar. So what I elected to do was a balance, half semi-hollow body. Now, this is another situation where a router would have been incredibly helpful. However, again, I do not have one, so I had to do the best I could. What I ended up doing after many different attempts at other options is a good old chisel and a lot of hard work. Next up, it was time to make the sound hole for the semi-hollow cavity. Semi-hollow bodies have F holes. Wolfgang's got the E hole for his father, Mr. Edward Van Halen. In case you're unaware, once again, I am Droid, J-R-O-I-D. So what did I have to go with? The J hole. Kind of made it look somewhat similar to the J in my Droid logo. To cut this out, I just used that Dremel tool once again. Autumn leaves remind me of the color of your hair that night. November rain can be so cold. December snow. I think it actually came out pretty good. Now I decided I wanted the inside of the cavity to be painted, so being that we're nearing the gluing phase of the guitar, this would be the last chance to do so, at least hopefully. So I went ahead and laid down a quick coat of paint inside the cavity. Next up, it was time to drill the holes for the electronics. And here's a quick look at the guitar with all the parts on and everything before gluing. And now we have reached the final step for this video, the gluing phase. Now, I had never glued a guitar body before, so this was quite an experience for me. Pretty stressful, but all in all, I think I got it done. So here you have it in its current phase. I'm going to let this sit for a day or so, maybe more, and then hopefully when I remove all these clamps, the two body pieces stay together. That would be a real travesty if they separated. Would be pretty funny though, wouldn't it? But that's going to be in the next video that I do. So for now, that's where we're going to wrap this one up. Once again, I've been Droid. I hope you enjoyed the video. Be sure to check out my channel for more videos like this. Guitar, drum, synth, lyric videos. If you could be so kind, please check out my music on Spotify, Apple, YouTube, etc. under Droid, J-R-O-I-D, Linktree/Droid. Links are in the description. Thank you very much for watching. I appreciate you taking the time to do so. And as always, stay safe. Take care.